as Louis does, he supports interesting, fascinating artists, not just people that are established already, but he has such a keen eye, and so does David, to find people. And there are a lot of people in the art world that aren't willing to take the risk to really step out and to support a lesser-known younger artist. And that's the only way to establish yourself, to have patrons in the arts that are able to do that, that have galleries that have the kind of reputation this gentleman has. So I really think it meant a lot to David that you came this evening.
Well, I'm delighted, and I think it's really important. I think that it's very difficult for artists to eke out a living, and I try to be as supportive as possible. I show more classical and historical art, but I'm very, very sensitive to the up-and-coming artists, the cutting-edge artists, and I feel their struggle.
You know, I look at my piece I bought from you every single day. It's on my breakfast table, but it's very funny. I move him around, you know, with his little spoon in his hand. I move him from the one table to the other. I like to look at him in different locations.
Well, Barbara is very, very passionate about art, and she just uses her heart and her eyes, whereas unfortunately a lot of people just use their ears, which is not what we really want. But we'd love to have just 10 Barbara Lazaroffs, and
the only problem I have,
the world will be different.
I need more walls. I need a lot more walls.
More wall space for the collections you have.
I rotate them sometimes. I really need a lot more walls. And surfaces, too.
Is there any one piece that took your breath away in tonight's event?
I'm just sort of focused on the whole, sort of the happening, the energy that the event is generated. And I think it's terrific that he is taking this space and is going to expand it.
And also, I think what Louis is trying to say as well, and I agree, when somebody takes the opportunity and the risk in this economy to open, to take the step to really show young artists, show more established artists, but really to bring the community out to appreciate art. So important, especially with all of the art programs in schools closing down. I represent the Zimmer Children's Museum. I support them. A lot of different ways we try to support arts in the schools and in young people. We're going to lose the artists in the world. Although I really believe artists will always create. Yeah. But it's so important for people to understand that appreciating art, owning art, supporting art is a very vital and very important part of life, the life experience.
Absolutely. And I think David has an incredible ally and supporter and believer in Barbara.
He's a very lucky man.
Yeah,
he's a dear friend.
Any closing comments?
I adore this man. And he has such an extraordinary talent, because really it does take talent to find talent.
Delighted to be here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And with me I have Tammy Simler.
Yes, it is.
Tell us about tonight's event.
Tonight is David's grand gala opening of his new gallery. So, and we are with Malibu Family Wines. My family owns the largest vineyard in Malibu, and we're here to support David. David's a good friend of the family's, and we're always here in support.
And with me I have Robin Armstrong, who happens to be a director. He produces his own stuff. Robin, please tell us about your work.
Well, I'm an independent filmmaker. I'm active in the independent film community, making, smaller projects that go to 50, 100 theaters, but not the big blockbuster kind of projects, but personal projects. And I particularly found myself drawn to the work of Judith Lindenberg. She's a wonderful artist who here in the Los Angeles area, and she does mixed media collages, and she has a theme that she's working with now. I've followed her work over several shows over the last number of years, and she's doing something that connects organic materials with philosophical ideas in a unique way I've never seen done before. It's really quite wonderful.
I'm holding your hand and getting out of the view, so I'm holding your hand.
And we love him, and he's
we
fabulous.
Do. David,
I'm glad he came from New Orleans to be in our neighborhood with all of his talent.
Can you believe David has over 20 years of professional experience?
That young man Really?
Oh.
And what else?
He's an expert. Anything you want to know? Appraisals? Anything.
Appraisals. Oh, I'll tell Bob.
Her husband is the ultimate appraiser.
Please tell us your name. I haven't been given your name.
I'm B. Scott, Beatrice.
Okay. And how do you know David?
David just came into our lives very unexpectedly
At a party.
at a party. And we clicked and we followed all of his wonderful accomplishments. And he has wonderful taste. And really, this is quite a new and wonderful location for him.
Is there any one piece in particular that takes your breath away in today's event?
Well, I love antique furniture.
Okay.
So he has many pieces that are beautiful, as well as his artwork.
With me I have Serena and Meryl. Serena, tell us about today's event.
Well, this was a wonderful event with the opening of the art gallery, and we had the privilege of being able to pour our Four Sisters Ranch wines from Paso Robles.
Okay.
And we've actually started out with visiting Paso Robles, had a love affair with it, and began to plant our vineyard. And here we are 20 years later, where we are producing wines that delighted, we hope, everyone that was here.
How do you know David?
We were able to meet David through Barbara, through Spago's, and actually had them, Barbara, taste our wine. She, I think, fell in love with our Syrah, and thought it was a grand idea that we be here to celebrate such a wonderful event.
That's excellent. Thank you for joining us. Meryl, tell us about today's event.
Oh, this was an honor to be here. Serena and I have been friends as doctors and then co-owners of a vineyard, and this was a vision 20 years ago, and now it's to fruition. And we're just delighted to be here because our wines, our grapes are finally getting to the public, and it's our love and our passion.
And with me I have Jesse Kellisher. Jesse, I understand you're one of the photographers, artists being exhibited in today's event. Can you please tell us a little bit about your work?
Sure, Tony. I'm a fine art photographer, and my work's in the permanent collections of the Louvre and the Smithsonian. In fact, David Streets has an exhibit here, the first two photographs of Barack Obama that were acquired by the Smithsonian. They're photographs that I took. I'm very proud of that. And they're on exhibit here, and then a bunch of photographs that are in the Louvre are actually also on exhibit here, including one of my favorite photographs. It's a photograph of a woman who looks just like Mona Lisa standing in front of the Mona Lisa painting.
I took footage of all that stuff, and I love it.
Oh, thanks, Tony. Yeah, it's a pleasure to really be a part of this whole event.
And with me I have beautiful Barbara Lazaroff. Barbara, please tell us about today's event.
Oh, well, I think you've heard. It's such a wonderful event. David Streets has opened up a wonderful gallery, the David Streets Gallery on Little Santa Monica in Beverly Hills, right off of, just a little bit west of Cannon, where I have Spago down the block. So that's why, close proximity, we had Spago cuisine tonight. We had wonderful wineries we invited and fabulous ultimate vodka. So we had enough to imbibe, enough to dine, but the real centerpiece of the show, of course, was the extraordinary art that Davis has assembled. A whole eclectic group of artists. We have the classic sort of gallery here that has a range of French Impressionistic work. Beautiful furniture, antique furniture and chandeliers and objets d'art from the connoisseur galleries that they're in cahoots here. They're in cahoots. It's so gorgeous, the setup. And yes, do I have my eye on a piece? A couple of them. I haven't hit David up yet. We're going to make a deal over there. One is a beautiful floral piece, sort of really unlike what I collect, because I collect a lot of contemporary art. I do have some classic pieces, and there was some of the work in the other gallery. We have Stephen Verona, and we have my dear friend Jesse Kellisher, who is a much awarded photographer. He travels the world with his wife and his two little adorable children, and his perspective on the world is so unique. So I think really the duality of the gallery was amazing tonight. We had a lot of people who came in who really appreciated one gallery, and a lot of people that really came and their tastes really flow more towards the contemporary.